Let's go, Billy, Billy.
As Curtis Jackson and the entourage take just a little bit to exit stage left.
Okay, gentlemen, the trunks, the line is going to be, you're going to pull it down. If you want to pull it down, okay, that's the line. Your line is right here, okay? You got that? Okay, gentlemen, you receive your instruction. Going for the IBF featherweight title is on the line, okay? I expect a good, clean fight, nothing less, okay? Respect my commands at all times. Most importantly, protect yourselves at all times. At this time, I want you to touch up. Let's get popping.
By the way, Gradovich doesn't expect a good, clean fight. He told us pre-fight, not a lot of respect for some aspects of the game of Billy Dib. Says he's a dirty fighter. And, of course, early in his career, carrying the label of being a runner. But as 50 Cent saying, it's a new day, recently there have been new days as Dib, the champion, has shown himself to be more aggressive. That's what he's working on. IBF featherweight title on the line. We're underway round one.
Well, let me chronicle for you some of the reasons why Gradovich's manager said that Dib is a dirty fighter. Dib has had points deducted, penalized for low blows, holding and hitting. He's been warned for headbutting, low blows, and punching on the break. So there is a reason of some evidence in the history of Dib with his actions in the ring that Gradovich's manager had those concerns. Dib has come out the worst of it, though, sometimes with that headbutting, being a billy goat a little bit inside. You know, he's been involved in a technical decision because of head clashes, and he's been cut over his left eye and his right eye in his last fight. So even though he gets in there with his head dip a little bit, I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident, but he's gotten the worst of it sometimes with that. Also, Dib likes to switch. Hasn't done it yet, but he's orthodox now. He has no problem going lefty.
There was a lead right uppercut from Billy Dib thrown there moments ago.
Remember, this fight taken on short notice, only about a month for Gradovich. You know, they say they're ready, but Gradovich himself admitted he wasn't training much when he got the call. He was actually coming off a vacation, a little rest period over in Russia. So we'll see what kind of real condition Gradovich is in.
Found out about this world title shot in early February. Louis Franco withdrew, and the call came in. And even though he's ahead of schedule, just 15-0, a 3-year prospect, number 11 in the IBF, he takes the title challenge. Try to make the most of the opportunity here against Dib.
You know, Joe, for me, as a trainer, I wouldn't be just worried about the physical condition of Gradovich. That's probably okay, taking it on short notice. I'd be more concerned about the mental condition in his mind going into a title fight, stepping up in class for the first time. Maybe not having the confidence. There's a little headbutting in there by Dib there, and that's why the manager of Gradovich was worried about some dirty tactics by Dib. But I'd be more concerned about the mental condition of Gradovich, knowing that he didn't have full time. Is he mentally confident? Is he mentally in top shape? Going into the biggest fight of his life.
Prior to that Billy goating on the inside, Dib came forward and scored, but then Gradovich also landed a right hand here in the final half minute of this first round. Once again, we invite you to go to Facebook, the Friday Night Fight page, and score along. Live scoring, you the fan, will update you all night long. Stay with us for the title fight to come.
It could wear off after 2 or 3 rounds. He can start to get confidence, but early on, big advantage, I think, for the champion, Dib, if he pushes the envelope a little.
Good exchange to open up this second round. IBF title on the line at 126 pounds. Gradovich, the title challenger from Siberia, who trains out of California, has really immersed himself in the Mexican-American fight culture of Southern California, trained by Robert Garcia.
You know, I think there could be a little danger in this fight. I know it's very early for me to say that, but could be a little danger in this fight for Dib.
How so?
Well, could be a little overconfident, taking a guy that's really never been in any tough fights yet. I mean, Gradovich, all his fights have been in the West and Southwest.
This is way ahead of schedule for
Yeah,
Gradovich.
definitely. First fight on the East Coast. His people know it. You know, the opportunity came up and they grabbed it. Now, people will say, Teddy, why'd they grab it? Well, they don't think Dib is a killer. You know, they don't think he's Godzilla. They think out of all the champs out there, they'd have a chance maybe with him better than with some of the other guys. And they figure, well, if we wait to the right time, we might not get a chance. That right time might never come. So they figure maybe this is the right time. Even though it's early in the schedule, they're grabbing it. Like I said earlier, seeing if they could catch lightning in the bottle. But Gradovich is a game guy. A lot of amateur fights. He's got that pedigree. He's got that confidence from amateurs. If he can get through the first early 3 or 4 rounds, gain a little confidence, Dib can have a tougher fight than he expected. Or than he might have expected.
Dib, a 35-win veteran, based out of Australia, the son of a Lebanese immigrant to Australia. Dib grew up with 7 siblings. They all worked in his father's tiny corner store. He was the only boxer among the 6 brothers.
You know, I talked about Gradovich, his first fight, this fight on the East Coast, first time in his career. Most of the fights for Dib have been in Australia. His only loss was outside of his home country. It was here in the United States.
That was back in 2008. Very lackluster effort on that night. And he references that often. He knows he wants to and has to redeem himself. Be a little more fan-friendly.
Well, the big advantage so far for Dib is that he's just a little more versatile, a little bit more dimensional. You know, he can move a little bit, he can counterpunch a little bit, he can beat you to the punch. And so far early on, Gradovich, a game guy, looking to come in the front door, a little one-dimensional.
Stern warning from Eddie Claudio to Gradovich there as he was pushing up on the head of Billy Dib.
Step back clean.
Let's look at the CompuBox numbers. The last round, the jabs thrown. Dib throwing 44, landing just 23%. But often, as is often the case, just controlling things, pace, tempo, and showing his different disposition with the output.
You know, I like the eagerness. I like the toughness, the attitude of the 26-year-old Gradovich, but what I don't like is he's just reaching in sometimes, just walking in that front door, not behind the jab, coming in a little cold, a little too plain, a little too vanilla, especially with a guy like Dib who controls range pretty good. That's what he does pretty well. And if he sees you coming in cold and plain, he's got a chance to do what he does, and that's counter.
This is getting out of control. Dealing with my patience, okay? I don't want to take points. If you're going to tell me to take points, I'm going to start doing it, all right? Come here. Let's keep it clean, all right?
I think Eddie Claudio doing a good job of just trying to take control of the situation.
I just wasn't sure who he was talking to.
I think he's talking to both guys. We had the incident in the first round with Dib, and then at the end of the second round with Gradovich, and you know the mindset coming in, as you detailed it very well from the start. There's a right hand from Billy Dib.
And again, the experience and the versatility, I think, of Dib is showing itself. He can move a little bit, he can counter a little bit, he can go in the trenches a little bit that he's doing right now. And again, Gradovich stuck with just one gear, that gear, coming forward. Good counter by Gradovich there. Good right-hand counter by Gradovich a moment ago in between the punches of Dib. And that's what I think Gradovich has on his mind now. Dib's going to come forward. Maybe Gradovich feels he can time him, catch him in between the shots.
That's a different Billy Dib that American fight fans saw just 4.5 years ago.
I see every once in a while Gradovich will land a nice clean shot, Joe. But I think Dib, for the most part, stealing those rounds, just busy. And there's a cut. It looks like a little... Now it looks like some blood coming out of the nose now, Dib.
Picked up the pace on the inside here in round number 3.
Well, if the judges weren't sure that Gradovich just landing clean shots every once in a while, the blood in the nose of Dib should alert them to that fact.
had that nice counter halfway through this round and has had some moments on the inside.
But that's what we talked about, Joe. The early rounds would be tough for Gradovich, and they have been a little tough. But if he gets past them, gain a little confidence, get himself going a little bit, this could be an interesting fight. I think he's getting it going a little, Gradovich.
Nice pace here being set at the end of round number 3. Things getting interesting in this title bout. Defeated fighter, former belt holder at 126 pounds himself, most recently at 130. And Andre Durrell also here tonight. He'll be fighting on Friday Night Fights on April 12th. They are both promoted by 50 Cent, a.k.a. Curtis Jackson, the entertainer, rapper, actor, entrepreneur, who led the way on the ring walk for Billy Dib, the IBF featherweight champ, who he promotes as well, and is into round number 4 against a feisty Evgeny Gradovich.
You know, I know it's still early, but I see the tables turning a little bit. Gradovich gaining a little confidence. I think it's going to come down to when he does get inside Gradovich, can he work inside or does he get grabbed? Because Dib not afraid to grab you on the inside. I think Dib, whether he means to or not, at least for me, for my eyes, he's showing a little confidence to Gradovich. He's starting to take it outside more and more now, as though he's kind of begrudgingly, saying, okay, I believe in you a little bit. I'm going to take it outside. I'm not going to hang inside with you too much. You've got my respect a little bit. You pointed out to me in between rounds, Joe, that he'll pose with his punches sometimes. He'll place a punch, he'll place a hand, like a right hand, he'll place it out there. Almost like he's just, measuring a guy.
Yes.
And what he's doing is trying to set you up. He's trying to distract you a little bit. And what takes that away from him? Aggression. Because if a guy is just coming in, like Gradovich is doing a little bit, you can't be posing. Because while you're posing, you're going to get caught. And right now, Dib's getting caught a little bit.
Yeah, and Gradovich doing a good job, as he did in the previous round, of punching between the punches of Dib. He's finding success trying to time that.
And a little subtle move there by Gradovich. Made a little circle around Dib, not laying in front. Yeah, the confidence is growing in Gradovich. I see it.
You can see him taking those half steps forward, getting to the inside. There's Dib working to the body, placed a left hand, but then Gradovich comes back and splits the guard. Good action here in the midst of round 4.
Yeah, Gradovich is showing that amateur pedigree that we talked about in the top, that he would have to show if he's going to pull off the upset in only 15 pro fights and win a world title. He's showing that 150 amateur fight background a little bit.
There's some swelling around the left eye of Billy Dib. In fact, it's starting to droop down. Top of the lid there, right around the brow. The swelling has continued here in round number 4.
Talked about Dib in his last fight. He was cut over both eyes.